Hi, thanks for joining me. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine, and I'm here with another Tuesday tip video tutorial for you. For my project today, I'm making this card right here, and it does feature the Home to Roost stamp set, which is a level 1 celebration reward. If you place a $50 order or more, you can earn this stamp set for free through March 31st. I have a few friends who really love to show off sponging on their cards, so they inspired me to make this card here with the pretty sponging background. So let's get started. I'm going to bring over a piece of scrap paper just to protect my surface. I have a Whisper White rectangle, and it measured 3 inches by 4.5 inches. I did go ahead and then cut it out with the new rectangle stitched framelits. I'm going to sponge on the Daffodil Delight ink first. So I'm just going to bring over my ink pad. I'm using a sponge brayer. So I have one for each of my colors. In my card it looks like I kind of have yellow, orange, and red, but I just did yellow and red and then really blended them together in the middle to kind of get the orange look. So I'm going to be pretty generous with my daffodil. I want to go about 3/4 of the way across, because then I want to do the red at the top and kind of in the middle. I probably need to re-ink my pad. It's getting pretty well loved. So just add the ink on. It's light, but it's definitely there. And then when you're happy, stop. Then I'm going to come over with the real red. And I have a separate sponge dauber. They come 4 in a pack. I just let them dry, then I reuse them for different colors. I think this one might have been purple raspberry at one time. So with the red I can go pretty light because it's a lot darker. So I'm just going to add some red on there. And I'm just going to go towards the top. And then I'm going to kind of come down to the middle. And it's going to kind of be a little bit orange. If I want it to be a little darker, I can certainly go a little darker. Then I want to kind of blend in the middle to kind of get that cool kind of orange effect. So I can't decide, is this, I guess to me it reminds me more of a sunrise than a sunset. Okay, so once I have it how I like it, I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to stamp my rooster down the bottom middle. And I'm going to stamp the rooster in Crumb Cake. And then I'm actually going to color in the rooster with watercolor pencils. That's kind of how I ended up choosing the colors. The daffodil and the real red are colors that we have watercolor pencils for. So I want the rooster to kind of be down in the daffodil area for the feet, and kind of up towards the red for the other parts, and a little bit in the orange in the middle. So actually, while I actually have the crumb cake, I'm just going to stamp the little greeting too. It is just a note. So I just have a scrap of crumb cake. Let me just stamp that really quick, and I'm just going to punch it out with my classic label punch. Okay, so now I can get rid of the crumb cake and bring over my watercolor pencils. So I'm using 4, and I've got pumpkin, real red, espresso, and daffodil. So for the espresso, I just did a little bit of the ground right here by the feet, just to give it a little bit of color. So let's start at the top. For kind of the rooster's head, I kind of went with the darkest. And you can go as light or dark as you want. Then what I did is I kind of followed over here and did some of the feathers at the top, also in the red. And then I'm going to do the upper body here in pumpkin pie. So again with this, you can go as light or dark as you want. You can blend. If you think it's too much red, you could blend it a little bit more. Then I'm going to do a bunch of the feathers over here in the orange. Okay. And then the belly, I'm going to do with the daffodil. And then what you can do is I took a little bit of the red, the real red, and I kind of came a little bit into the orange to just kind of give some highlights. So you can add as little or as much highlights that you want. So there we have it. And the other pieces of my card, I have a Daffodil Delight card base, and then I have a Crumb Cake piece, and this piece is 4 inches by 5.5, and it is a little bit hard to see, but I also ran it through the rectangle framelits, and then I'm just layering them up, and in the middle I kind of was going for like a rustic feel, so I went with the burlap ribbon, and I just pull the end, and then I pull a thread from the middle. So pretty much you just pull your ends apart. This one's hard to do because it's already done at this end. And you just pull an end from the middle. Okay. Sometimes you get kind of like a plasticky piece in the middle. I just pull that all out too. And then I wrapped the thread around the entire crumb cake layer and tied it in a bow. So I'm just going to wrap it around towards the bottom. And then tie a bow over here. This is a 16-inch piece. And then I'm going to put move this over just a tad more. Okay, perfect. Okay, if you find it's loose, you might have to kind of go in and tighten it up a little. Mine's a little bit loose, but I think it's okay. I'm going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this layer. And I went pretty generous. I actually added I believe it was 3 rows of 3. I'm usually pretty generous on my Stampin' Dimensionals because I don't want this to fall apart and I don't want it to be saggy in the middle. So add a whole bunch on there, and then we'll just quickly peel off the backs. I'm just going to add my sentiment up here around the top with a little bit of the okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue and add this on here with a little bit of a banner look with it coming off the edge. adhere to my card base, which is Daffodil Delight. And that's my project for this week. Or I can just cut my tails off of my bow, and I am ready to go. So that's my project. I hope you will give sponging with the sponge brayer a try, and then stamping with your watercolor pencils over that. So if you do try this technique, please share a copy of your project with me. Leave me a comment by Monday, February 11th, and you can have a chance to win this card in the mail from me for tuning in. Thanks so much. I'll be back again next week with another Tuesday Tip video tutorial.